Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we're going to play some Zoo Mafia. Feel free to jump down in the description below where you can find a link not only to where you can find these wonderful players when they're not here on Nerdarchy, but a link to the Zoo Mafia Kickstarter page so that when we eventually, bring that project to life again, you can back it and get access into, whatever level of fun that you're interested in. So we're going to dive straight in. Last time in Furton City, the plan was clean. Slip through the back of the Riverway Trust and Savings, light a little chaos out front, and waltz out the rear with arm full of peanuts. No mess, no attention, just smooth criminal work. But in Scarborough, the streets write their own stories. It started with paint bombs, brilliant splashes of color exploding across the marble floors, priceless artwork defaced, and upholstery drenched in righteous hues. The distraction worked until it worked too well. Panic rippled through the bank, guards squawked for order, sirens howled in the distance. And then Rosa lit the fuse. One stick of dynamite turned a job into a massacre. 3 goose guards, loyal muscle under machine gun Otto, were vaporized in the blast. Civilians caught in the blast radius went down, and amidst the smoke and rubble, Rosa's abuela, who just happened to be nearby, was thrown into the chaos, her life nearly snuffed out by her own grandson's war. She lived, but barely, thanks only to the swift action and luck, but some wounds won't be smoothed by bandages alone. Greta the Goose, Otto's iron-winged enforcer, took the fight straight to the crew. Steel feathers, fury, and firepower. She was brought down, but in the end, it was Greta who bled, beaten, broken, but breathing, and very much vowing for revenge. The crew escaped, heavy bags, pockets full, more peanuts than they dreamed. That was 4 days ago. Scarborough isn't sleeping anymore. The fog that usually rolls in soft from the bay now hangs heavy with the stench of gunpowder, scorched feathers, and burnt peanut rum. You hear it before you see it, the staccato rattle of Tommy guns echoing off cracked brick, glass shattering, fires screeching. Somewhere neon light flickers erratically. Grub and grain half blasted away. A red spotlight from the old tower casts long shadows over twitching alley cats and slumped civilians. It's open war in the streets. In one corner, machine gun Otto's bruisers dig in behind a toppled trolley car. Greta Ironbite barking orders through clenched teeth, her iron jaw gleaming every time she fires the trigger. Across the plaza, Carlo Hambino, warthogs press through the alleyways, their tusks gleaming with sweat and pride, trying to take what they say they've earned. From above, Al Capone's goons swoop in on wings, silent and deadly, dropping tear gas like confetti. But this ain't about turf anymore. It's about who owns Scarborough when the smoke clears. You're shoulder to shoulder with Bunny Malone's crew, her eyes cold and calm. She scans the chaos as if she's been dreaming of this day for years. She turns to you with voice like silk, pulled tight over a blade. Well, this is it, sugar. Time to make a mess of history. Somewhere in the chaos, you spot your allies, called forth from the red moon. They look to you for advice, direction. Every choice should be one that writes your legend, or erase it. The final hand's been dealt, and every trigger is just waiting for someone to flinch. What do you do?
I light a stick of dynamite.
Of course you do.
Preferably not in our direction, right?
Well, he just says he lights it. He didn't say anything about throwing it, so maybe he wants to go out with a bag.
He just described us being in the middle of a gunfight, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well then.
All right.
Sounds like the appropriate response. In fact, as you lob that dynamite, I'm gonna lob a Molotov in the opposite direction, kind of get like spread fire going on.
So you've got machine gun Otto on one corner. You've got Carlo Hambino on another. You're trenched in with Bunny Malone. and up above, kind of flying and firing down are minions of Al Capone.
You should probably, Boomer. You should go after the birds. They got wings, and feathers.
But I just cleared my name with them. I made myself not an issue with them, man. Like, I'm hoping.
So they're, as I said, we're 4 days past your bank heist.
Yeah.
All right, Ted.
So there are elements that I know you guys want to kind of be able to say and do. So we're gonna play a little bit of gunfire and jump back, and play a little bit of gunfire and jump back. So it's gonna go back and forth.
You know what? In that case, literally lob one over at Al Capone's goons.
All right, so you're going up with it. All right.
And I'm going to. I stand up and chuck my dynamite. You oversized river rat. Say hello to my little amigo. 10.
Yeah, so I got 11 with double threes.
All right, so success with doubles. That is just going to be a +1 forward on your next roll.
All right, all right, sounds good. You know what? The game's over after this, so I'm going to spend the marker to max that damage too.
Okay. So you're gonna what is that, a wallop, Dave? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
You know what?
You're gonna add in some extra damage as your Molotov cocktail explodes, catching a couple of these flying fighters in the air. Blood and feathers and a handful of bodies come raining down. There's still plenty of fight.
Just
as Dave launches the dynamite at Machine Gun Otto's line. They're trenched in behind, as I said, the overturned trolley. So there you've got a scenario where you're definitely doing some damage, but they've got heavy cover. So
that's
why I don't know exactly how many went down.
Behind the cover. Lobbing behind.
Yes, but what I was saying is, because there's cover, you don't know the extent of how much damage you did because it is exploding behind.
Gotcha.
I love the smell of fried chicken in the morning.
Anybody else taking an action here?
Yeah, I should probably be taking some pot shots.
All right, so bring the heat. Tell me who you're shooting.
All right. What all? All right. I'm going to be aiming for somebody that is either targeting civilians or needlessly endangering civilians. And if the only person who is needlessly endangering civilians is on my team, then I am sorry. But
well, Otto and his crew are in the mix. So if you're looking to stop the carnage of civilian slaughter, that would be the easiest way to go. Either that or Rosa, your pick.
Okay.
But you've got Otto, you've got Greta, the goose, as well as a handful of regular minions.
I've got 10 on Otto.
Okay, that will hit. So you get a resounding shot that at the last moment, Otto sees you take aim, and he kind of sidesteps and pulls one of his geese guard into the mix, and she takes the shot. Her head explodes, and he just kind of laughs and begins spraying his Tommy gun, some of it up into the air. It might be hitting the in the direction of the owls. It might just be random before he turns it back into the fray.
Cool.
Sugar or Tumbleweed, either of you want to take an action here?
Yeah, I will also go with that and shoot. I'm gonna try to shoot the loud goose that's barking orders.
Sure. That is Greta.
Sure. And that's precision, yeah.
Yes.
So that is a 10.
All right. So that is a hit. What are you shooting her with?
My revolver.
All right. You don't have anything special with your guns, right?
Nope.
So as you fire at her, you notice that she has yet again donned this heavy lined trench, and as you fire, you watch as your bullet basically ricochets, and you see the leather kind of dent and tear, but there is an iron plate behind the trench coat, so it doesn't do any damage. All right. The minions up above, though lessened, have not been assuaged from their dropping of bombs. So I need everybody to get out of a jam. I need you to all roll Moxie.
Nine.
All right. Success with consequences.
I also got a 9.
All right, same.
Will get a 9. 8 plus
11.
my forward.
All right. And what about Rosa?
13.
13. All right. So Sugar and Rosa, you both kind of see what's coming, and you describe to me how the gas canister that drops into the bunker where you guys are, or makeshift bunker, and then explodes, sending shrapnel and this gas everywhere. How do you get out of the way?
I Mamba.
You do the Mamba. All right. What about you, Sugar?
I found a tin can or some kind of little container that I hopped right into.
All right. So you hop into a container, and I'm going to say, you painlessly get slid across the concrete. You don't go far, but you ride the concussion wave, managing to avoid all of the shrapnel and get out of the blast of the gas. The rest of you manage to find some cover from the shrapnel, but the gas goes further than what you really thought was going to happen. So you don't take any damage, but the tear gas is kind of affecting you until you can find some way to get this stuff out of your eyes. You have a -1 for the scene.
Do I get to act now? Is it okay?
So 4 days ago, you guys robbed the bank. You went back, you rested, you relished in your success. It's been a day since the Riverway Trust and Savings job, and Scarborough already feels different, charged like the air before a storm. The morning haze hasn't even cleared before the whispers start. Machine Gun Otto took a big hit. Paint-splattered vaults, peanut barrels gone, civilians caught in the blast, Goose Guard's dead, and Otto's enforcer isn't quite as unbreakable as she thought. By noon, the city's underbelly stirs like a kicked hornet's nest. Up north, Al Capone's informants fan out with cool efficiency of a well-oiled operation. Nobody hears the voice, but the intentions are clear. If Otto's grip is slipping, he'll move in like smoke through the windows. The northern smuggling route is in play. Meanwhile, down the clay roads and cracked warehouses, Carlo Hambino seethes. He wasn't just brushed off by the crew, he was humiliated. Now his tusked enforcers are rolling through Bunny's fronts, wrecking carts, cracking ribs, and making it clear that no one rejects Hambino without consequences. And then there's your boss, Bunny Malone, all velvet and claws. She's quick to spin a story. The crew was hers from the start. Her floppers hit the pavement with slicked fur and fast mouths, consolidating old debts, calling in allies, spreading word that Bunny is taking Scarborough, and anyone who stands in the way was better hop fast. As for Otto, his name is on every lip, but his face is nowhere to be seen. What is seen? Barricades at the docks, patrols with rifles, messages flying faster than bullets. But it's not enough. The truth is already sinking in. He's been bloodied, and there's not a shark in the city that won't smell it. And you, the crew, you're not just thieves anymore. You're the spark in a city soaked with powder, and Scarborough is about to burn. So just a few days ago, you all had some things that you wanted to do, or at least some of you did. So we take that clock, and we see Boomer leaving the successful heist, knowing that he did the job that Capone wanted him to do. He sets forth a meeting. It's late at night. He's all alone. And she agrees to meet. Under a city street, the light shines down as two lone figures stand there talking. Her enforcers are a ways back. But you have the conversation, Boomer.
This makes us square, right?
It was miraculously done. All debts paid. Everything is forgiven.
Happy to hear. As Al Capone would notice, like, Boomer looks like he's distracted or he's not quite comfortable, but it's not because of Al Capone or her presence. Couldn't pick a better place to meet, like, stinks in here. But Al Capone would notice that
you were looking for haste to make sure all was resolved. This is your part of town, is it not?
It is. In fact, Al Capone will also notice that it doesn't smell out of the ordinary. Almost like it almost sounds like Boomer's making it up.
So are you trying to imply that it is she that stinks?
Not at all.
Okay.
Psychologically, like, he still smells the burning flesh from the job.
Okay. She is reading the scene, and I want to make sure that she is not picking up context that you're not putting down. If you're trying to put forth a slight after you have just done a debt for her.
I'm not that
vicious cycle.
There is no shrimp involved, so nay.
Alright. So was there anything else?
I just want to make sure we're done. I don't know.
You could not have done what I asked more expertly than you have. I am quite pleased with the antics that you and your friends have perpetrated today.
Believe me, no one could have seen what went down.
Oh. You'd be surprised at what those who are more perceptive could have anticipated.
Well, some say it's just better to be lucky than smart. But I guess when you're in the game, it's kind of like that sometimes. But I don't know. Hopefully I won't be in it for too much longer, but... Yeah.
Won't be in what for too much longer?
No, nothing, sorry.
Are you getting out of the game?
No. Would it be alright to trouble you to visit one of your clubs, maybe? All I want to do is buy a shot and go off the bed.
Sure. And she gives you, there's several different speakeasies that aren't too far from here. And surprisingly, you found out that Al Capone has got a speakeasy in Scarborough, which would be news to you.
Oh, wow. Works fast. I literally just go to the closest one when, they offer the drink. I'll look at the drink and say, nah, leave the bottle.
So, put your peepers to work.
Absolutely. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
All right, that is a crit. So, as you
does the -1 count now or no?
No, that is for the gunfight. So anything that is going to be a previous, or if we happen to somehow get into a post, that'll go away. But it's for that is solely for the gunfight. But during the scene, you begin to walk away, and Capone loves showing off her owlness, and she turns her head back in the direction of her enforcers that are a good 50 feet behind, and she mumbles something. But you happen to be close enough that you hear every word of it. And as she turns to walk away, you hear the phrase, "They were excellent pawns in this game of chess."
I'm not even gonna.
As the rest of you are, in celebration, commiseration, visitation for those that want to, go to the hospital to look after a nearly dying grandmother. Where is each of you on this night of, post heist?
Yeah, Rosa would definitely go to the hospital if that's where his abuela is.
All right. Is that anything you want to, get into and invest time with, or is it, insert standard grieving doctrine?
What is her condition?
Stable, but barely.
Okay, so she's probably not conscious then, so we can skip it.
Okay.
Unless you guys want me to monologue for like an hour of my grief.
All right. Does Tumbleweed, Jonas, or Sugar have anything that they want to do in this post-heist without any of your explosive companions present?
Oh, Jonas is definitely home with his spouse, but we don't actually have to play that out. I imagine it being very peaceful and wholesome.
Let me ask this question. Considering your proximity to everything that happened, you would definitely have, scents and odors of explosions. Would you have tried to shower at Tumbleweeds, or?
Yeah, I definitely took a shower before I went home.
Okay. All right. So what about Tumbleweed, Sugar? Anything that you want to kind of scene dive into?
I think Tumbleweed might look up Clementine. Just like he knows she's somewhere in the city, right? He knows that this is where she lives. He just wants to find, like, he wants to basically just at a distance see if she's okay. That's it. He just wants like that closure of knowing that when she left him out west and moved to this city, like, she found her peace, she found her joy, whatever it was. She found what she was looking for that she didn't find with him.
Okay. Yeah, and is that something that you want to dive into, or just say that that's what he's doing?
I'm cool with just saying that's what he's doing, because he's not going to approach her, right? There's not going to be any kind of like interaction there. He just is going to kind of like find this old lady armadillo and see how she's doing at a distance, like across the park or something.
Okay. So, Sugar, did you want to go look for your bartender friend? Did you want to do something else?
I'll see if my bartender friend's there, but I definitely went shopping with all the money. And I'm probably at my
I
house
love that.
trying on all my clothes. And all the new hats.
Let's see here. So, the bartender went by, the mix martini, but he also, because I goofed on naming some NPCs, so this dude's named the same as one of the cats. So his name is Jasper the Mix Martini. What are you doing to try and find him? This is now probably a week or so post, some explosions at the Precious P.
I would have looked at the hospital. I would have went back to his house, or if he had any family or friends, I would have checked there too.
So when you get to his house, late at night, post some shopping, there's you rap upon the door, and you hear a little bit of breathing as footsteps, kind of come up to the door. You feel the weight of his gaze through the little eye hole that's in the door. He opens it up and, greetings, Sugar. What brings you to my door this late at night?
I was just seeing if you were okay after the craziness that went down at the P.
So you heard about that fiasco, huh?
Yeah.
You know that Penny is never gonna be right, never gonna forgive whoever it was that caused that whole scene. She's ruined. Cats have all seemed to all but disappear. Can't expect much after you watch your boss's body explode into pieces. It was pretty gruesome. I had to take some time. I actually got out of Furton City for a little while. It's really dangerous right now.
Yeah, I was just seeing if you were okay and if you needed work.
You know of a club looking for a tender?
I could probably find one.
Well,
I have a couple connections, if that's what you want to do.
Oh, I mean, it's the nightlife, as much as the scene is dangerous. It's where my expertise lies. I like the sense of seeing somebody for the first time and just sizing them up and seeing what they might prefer, and the smile of getting it right on the first try, even when they didn't know this is what they would like, is just exhilarating.
Yeah, well, how about this? Give me a couple days and I'll check with my new connection and we will see if we can't find you a nice new club, maybe a little busier and some more. I mean, finding upstanding citizens at this rate is kind of null and void, but maybe some, I don't know, people better than Penny.
Yeah, that's not hard in a place like this, but we know that the way I work. I like to talk. Mm-hmm. When you start talking, people begin to share. So beyond the drinks, you can let whoever this connection know that.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Is it could be very useful.
I was just letting you know that beyond mixing drinks, I've got a good head for getting people to divulge certain things.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for.
So I imagine you kind of sit down and the two of you talk for a little while before eventually the night wanes on or waxes on, whatever. I always forget which one's which. But the night begins to slip away. The day's weariness of all that's transpired weighs heavily, and you're some time away from your place.
I'm gonna say goodnight, and I'm gonna give him some peanuts, and just let him know it's to help with whatever he needs.
This favor won't be forgotten. Thanks, sugar.
And then sometime within the next day or two, I want to talk to Bunny about if she needs someone who's got a silver tongue in one of her bars.
Awesome. So we can just say that, the next time you guys, are together with Bunny, that you begin to slip that in there. And, as you play up, Jasper, give me a start spitting roll.
It's base at 10.
Okay. So without a problem, she definitely seems intrigued with how easily you sell this fox, and she says can't wait to meet him. We'll definitely find a place for him that'll keep him safer than what transpired at the P.
Perfect.
And with that, we shift, and yet again, you're all at the firefight. Guns are blazing all around you. The rattle fire of Tommy guns from multiple different directions, comes across. Car comes speeding down the highway. You don't even know whose goons are in it, but bullets fly. All of you take a point of damage.
Ted, can I try to jump through a window? Because I was hoping to get inside one of the buildings that the bomb droppers are on top of, because I wanted to run my way up the stairs and try to stop them from doing what they were doing.
Well, some of them are literally in flight, being birds. Some of them are indeed up on top of buildings. But you could absolutely get into a building and begin making your way up there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna just run with myself as fast as I can up the stairs. I don't care whose house I broke into. I'm running up that apartment building stairway, trying to get.
All right, what is anybody else doing?
By any chance, how do the roads look? If is it suitable for driving or not? By any chance?
Well, I just described that a car zipped down the street, firing a spray of bullets from both sides.
Ah, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I might have zoned out for a second. My bad. I knew we were into something. I got hit. Okay. Why did I get okay?
as long as you recorded the damage, that's all that matters.
Of course. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna hijack a car if I can, or if I have my car around, I'd like to use that.
If you had brought a car with you, it's stashed wherever you want. If you want to, grab some rando's car that's, here, you can do that too.
You know what? Why go too far from the action? I don't need no stinking keys. That's what this ability is for. We're gonna use it, god dang it.
Absolutely.
Hey, nice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 minus the 1, so that's 10.
All right, that is a success. You can have basically any kind of regular vehicle that happens to be on the scene. You're not getting a Studebaker, but whether you want a beat up sedan or a nice sports car, this is a crossover neighborhood in Scarborough, so there's all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna find whatever I have nearby with as little as bullet holes as possible.
Well, all of them have some, especially now.
Of course.
So the car that just did the drive-by, is that like in the scene or out of the scene, or can we interact with it?
It is driving through. It has fired a spray of bullets, but it is there if you want to interact with it.
I'm definitely
just blitz through.
I was about to say, Rose, are running. You want to run shotgun?
I'm definitely throwing a stick of dynamite into that car.
Yeah,
okay.
let's run shotgun. Let's do this, man. Come on. I'm driving after it.
Since they already got the window conveniently down for me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. That's not a great roll, but it is still a 9.
That's a 9. All right. Trying to determine what the consequence is going to be. So there are multiple people in the car. So were you trying to get the driver? Were you trying to get the gunner? What were you looking to do?
Bro, it's dynamite inside the car. Pretty sure that gets everybody.
Well, it depends upon how it goes off. So with a success with consequences, I'm gonna say you can either take out both the gunman or one gunman and the driver.
I'll go with one gunman and a driver.
All right. So the dynamite goes off. The guns that are sticking out of the car, or at least the one side, breaks into pieces as it litters the ground. Shrapnel and glass are heard from blocks away. The car, no longer having a driver, begins to veer to one side and begins heading straight towards where Carlo Hambino and his Goonies are kind of stationed. They quick jockey to one side as the car kind of careens into their barricade, flips up. The dude in the car that was shooting out the other side winds up toppling and turning inside. You don't know the extent of what his damage is at the moment, but the vehicle is no longer in motion.
I was gonna ask if I could pit maneuver it, but it seems very well not moving.
Amigo, there is a crosswalk. You must stop at all crosswalks. Everyone knows that.
Does hijacking a car count as my entire thing, or could I hit someone with it?
Where are you looking to drive? Like right now, everybody is. Well, a lot of people are either high up in the air or behind some kind of barricade.
You know what? The car that just ran through the barricade seems like a great idea to push it in even further.
All right. So you have an ability that allows you to use the vehicle to cause damage, right?
Run him down.
Why don't you roll that for me?
Absolutely, boss. I'm gonna use a marker.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you rolled trip sixes.
I looked up and I wrote down. I'm like, did the math and said I don't like that. I'm using a marker.
All right, so you spend a marker. What are you looking to do? Are you looking to just completely crush both vehicles here? Are you looking to try and drive this as a wedge?
Yeah. I know I don't know if the guys inside is dead or not, but definitely going to ram it. If I can hurt him, great. And if I can hurt anybody else behind that vehicle,
Right, so you're turning your whatever it rolled into a success. So you ram the back of this car with your stolen vehicle, causing the car to push through Carlo Hambino's barricade, shifting and creating a nice little break. But the force of the impact shoves the car into the building itself. You watch as the car begins to crumple, brick begins to break. Whoever was in the back seat of this car has certainly not survived. But the impact was severe enough that you are now like in line and pushing into the barricade. You're gonna have to give me a get out of a jam because you are right the thick. Even though they've moved, you're not too far from Hambino's goons.
Yeah, I figured. The good thing there's a nice sheet of metal between me and Bulls, except for the glass. I'm doing the math again with -1 forward, and I might have to spend another marker. Hey, spend it like they're going out of style. I'm not taking them to the next game, right?
That is entirely true. So the engine begins to catch flame after the severe impact. You look as you've got an overturned vehicle to your right. You've got an open doorway, or you've got an open pathway if you were to jump out of the driver's seat. And after the car crunching sound ceases, his goons look in your direction. They see the damage that you've done to the barricade. They see that this has set them up at a bit of a deficit in this standoff or shootout, if you will. So the Barkside Bruisers, these warthogs that are tough and gritty that work for Carlo Hambino, they all line their or they all aim their weapons in your direction, and you say, "Shit!" The door flies open, and you dive out of the seat because you don't wear a seatbelt. That's for amateurs. Gunfire blazes through the car. Glass shatters, upholstery rips as you roll, getting further and further away. When the gunfire ceases and the smoke is coming up through the barrels, they don't see you moving. They assume they got you as you slink off, heading back towards your own barricade, your own crew.
Take it.
All right. What about Sugar or Jonas?
Sorry, I'm muted. Can I look around to see what supplies we have in the barricade?
What would you have liked to have been here?
Other weapons. Like if people have bombs, dynamite, first aid, the usual things
there would-
that you would have for
there
a
would
gunfight?
there would definitely be, first aid type situation. Bunny Malone is not so much the dynamite and explosives kind of gal.
Mhm.
Rosa and Boomer certainly are.
You want to just ask? I'll give it happily.
Would there be anything that we could use on the trolley?
Like in what regards?
Damage it, blow it up, etc.
Again, she's not an explosive.
don't have
So
anything.
kind of
I'll
gal.
definitely give you. I'll definitely give you a Molotov if you want one.
Okay, so I want to take like a plastic container that I find and try to get gas out of a car.
Okay. This getting gas out of a car. I'm gonna have to say that's gonna be commit a caper. So
Okay.
you're gonna roll plus sly.
You gotta suck it through the hose and use your thumb like this.
I'm
And-
gonna
and it's
use a marker. Can I use a marker
Alright.
on this?
All right, so it's probably not a plastic container, but glass.
Yeah.
But certainly doable.
Okay, so I'm gonna go get the gas, and then I'm gonna bring it to Rosa.
Okay. So I think that is that is a decent enough of an action. So we'll see how that transpires for next round. Jonas, what about you?
No, I was muted. Of course you couldn't hear me. Yeah, I'm gonna fire my gun again.
Who are you shooting?
Yeah, is Otto still where I can see him?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. In that case, we have 11.
You have an 11.
Yes.
So a situation seems to arise where you got him dead to rights, and this sneaky bastard does it again. He pulls an otter that's standing next to him right into the line of fire, and again he's covered in the gore of yet another of his minions, where normally you'd think the stalwart companions that he's there with wouldn't be so willing to throw their lives away, but they're almost as manic as he is, as yet another one of his goons go down. Should have been dead to rights. He manages to slink out of the way. Day 2 after the heist. The morning rolls in an overcast sky with thick fog and unease. The heist is yesterday's news. Today is about control. On the corners of Scarborough's main arteries, Otto's trucks idle like war wagons. Hulking metal beasts with reinforced bumpers, goose guards perched in the back, rifle across their laps. They don't move fast, they loom. It's less about stopping traffic, more about sending a message. Machine Gun Otto ain't dead. Above them, the rooftops are empty. Too empty. Bunny Malone's network of lookouts, tight-lipped jackrabbits, and long-tailed tree rats vanished overnight. Not a whisper, not a twitch, just gone. Locals murmur that Bunny's gone underground, watching from the dark, prepping for something big. Meanwhile, Al Capone's agents are all smiles and silver tongues, handing out thick wads of notes of peanut couriers and postal ferrets. Her brand of warfare is quieter. Contracts, whispers, sealed envelopes. But when the runners start changing routes and refusing to carry product unless it's marked with owl stamp, everyone starts to notice. And down by the river docks and old scrap yards, Carlo Hambino opens his wallet and his armory. The Barkside Bruisers, a rough pack with brass collars and dockside boys, a rowdy crew of snapping turtles with reinforced shells, steel-toed boots, are suddenly on payroll. Not subtle, not quiet, effective. And you're all in the middle. Midday, the calls start rolling in. Knock on the door, a note under your coffee mug, a familiar face with unfamiliar eyes. All the bosses trying to have a conversation. You turn them down. Otto, Al Capone, Carlo Hambino. You've made your choice. You've said that you're going to work for Bunny. But the city isn't Scarborough anymore. It's a chessboard. And you don't want to be the pawns. The kings and queens of Scarborough or Furton City are on the move. You're in Arthur's apartment, as you always are. You hear the hustle and bustle on the street. You know situations are tense. You know that before too long, something's going to happen. Is there anything you guys want to say or do at the end of day 2 after the heist?
I think that maybe Arthur will invite Jonas over for crepes. He will order crepes from the diner. Or maybe they'll go to the diner and have crepes, whatever Jonas would prefer in that situation. And so he'll just sort of he will tell Jonas, after everything that happened, kind of reflecting on the brevity of life and what we've got going on. I looked her up.
You looked her up.
Yeah.
Well,
Ted, what did I find?
I'm sorry. There's been a lot of notes that I'm reading. Remind me again.
So Arthur had his former fiance Clementine, who moved here years and years and years ago when she left him out west for his banking and whatnot, and almost like a Ebenezer Scrooge type situation, right? And so if you remember, I said I was looking to see if she was okay, and I probably found her hopefully at a park or something. What did I find?
She was there. Definitely seems a little worse for wear here in the city. You don't know if it's just the fact that city life is stressful, in comparison to, the country life, which is a little bit harder work, but it's more satisfying and it's tiring, but it's not as stressful. Then you add on the layers of the mafioso and the fact that all of this is going on, and police aren't really having a huge presence at the moment. Really begins to make you wonder. But she still manages to keep a smile, even though it's careworn. She's in reasonable shape considering.
Okay. So Arthur looks at Jonas and he says, she was at the park.
Yeah.
And I guess she got herself a couple grandkids.
Oh, well, good for her. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, I'm happy for her.
Good.
I thought I'd be more upset. But with what I've become, like, she left and she was right. I was giving everything to the bank that I gave my life to something that wouldn't love me back. And she knew that, and even now I still kind of think I am, but maybe that's the fate I've chosen for myself. But I'm telling you this because you got somebody. You've got something that's important to you. And I just want you to know that if you're ever questioning where your priorities should lie, pick the thing that can love you back.
I appreciate this perspective.
But
I wasn't thinking that. Do you think I should be?
I'm just saying, every job comes to a head at some point. Like, if you're good enough at your job, it's going to ask something of you that's going to force you to take something away from someone else. And I wanted to feel successful. And I wanted to feel like I was doing something important. So I chose that job. And I didn't realize there was something more important in front of me all along. And I just don't want you to ever question whether you did the right thing, because I have. And I do. And I don't know, I mean, you're probably the closest thing I'll ever have to a son. And I just wanted you to know that.
That's heavy. I am not great at this personal connection stuff, but I do want you to know that means a lot to me.
I'm glad. Because I wouldn't have said if it didn't mean a lot to me too.
It'll be alright.
It will. I think it already is, actually. Like, I don't know what the next days have for us, but I think I'm okay. For the first time in a long time. So, I don't know. I guess I just felt like I needed to tell you that.
Well, thank you.
And I felt like I owed you some crepes, so
Yeah,
eat up.
you don't know why. You don't know why. It can't have anything to do with the fact that you just went to see your ex-fiancé.
Yeah, that's fair. But, I mean, right now, it's all you can eat, so make sure I get my money's worth.
And I tuck in.
any other conversations or things that people want to accomplish, considering how the streets currently look?
So I would go back to the hospital again and spend time there, checking in on my grandmother, and from there I think I'm gonna go find Boomer and grab a fifth of tequila on my way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the garage where he usually hangs out, and there's like usually a cart there with a couple like folding wooden chairs set up, and I plop down two shot glasses and I just start pouring. Amigo, past, present, future.
Salute.
And I do that until one of us passes out.
I mean, literally as I'm pretty sure halfway through the conversation or halfway through the bottle, I'll mention like, where's the rest of the crew at?
I don't know. Probably talking about something somewheres, complaining about fires and explosions. You know how they are.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They wanna live the fast and furious life without the fast or the furious. It doesn't make any sense to me, amigo.
I don't know, man. Like, I thought I wanted to live the life as well, especially everything that's happened. But I don't know.
What?
The last job just didn't sit right with me.
Are you going soft on me, amigo?
Nah.
Are you gonna stop driving?
Nah, not like that. But remember Rosa before I met you? What I was doing?
What were you doing? You were probably driving. Driving a cab, maybe?
Yeah. I was delivering food here and there, trying to make ends meet and whatnot. But
Like a milkman?
Yeah, kind of. But
Did you work with those guys who were robbed?
nah.
Good. Those guys were kind of dicks.
I don't know, man. Something about it, I just feel like I could be doing more. I have no regrets, mind you. Sometimes you gotta crack a few eggs, you know?
I don't know, amigo. You know, back home with my banditos, we used to, rob banks and stagecoaches and trains. It was a lot of fun, but it got a little crazy. So I was like, all right, we'll move up north and everything will be fine. And then I met you guys, and we robbed banks, blow things up. Things got a little crazy. I mean, I don't know. It seems like no matter what I do, things just get a little crazy.
I guess, but
it's fate. It's fate, amigo. We have no say in it. What happens, happens.
Rosa.
Yes.
How many people you killed? As I take another shot.
I mean, it's hard to keep track sometimes. I think we killed a bunch the other day. I mean, are we counting those people too? Back home? I don't know. After a while, it's not good to count.
Yeah, I've definitely lost count on my own.
You think about it too much. You get in your head. Am I good? Am I bad? I don't know. I'm just trying to get by. I'm doing the best I can.
And you know what? That's
sometimes
the simple thing about war. You know that? That's the simplest thing about war. Morality, out the window. Doesn't matter. The dude on the other side, once you're dead, right? You do what you gotta do. Just see another day.
That's what I'm talking about, amigo. The others, maybe they should not be in this life. They should get out. I don't think they're made for it. It's okay.
As you say that, I'm just pondering the shit out of my next drink. Maybe helping people ain't too terrible, but I don't know.
It is hard to help people when we do what we do. There is always collateral damage. We can pretend there won't be, and try and do things in a way that keeps people safe, but you have no control over everything. You never will. Sometimes you just have to grab onto the bull and hold on. You just don't let go.
Just takes another shot.
Yeah, we'll kill that bottle and then wrap things up here.
Does Sugar want to do anything at this moment?
Probably some more shopping, dropping off flowers to Rosa's abuela, and then giving the message to her friend.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to let Jasper know that as soon as things settle, he basically has a job. There's a couple different places that Bunny could use him, though Bunny tells you like, okay, you're not going to use her name. You'll offer a couple of speakeasies that could use his talents, both varieties thereof. And they'll set something up for him, and make him happy.
Nice.
With that, it's back into the firefight. Guns are blazing. Tumbleweed is rushing up the stairs to get to the roof. Sugar is handing off a wine bottle filled with siphoned gas from a local car to Boomer, who just kind of slumped back over the barricade after belly crawling across the firefight laden street. What do you guys do?
Well, I'll take the gasoline from Sugar.
Okay.
And I rip a piece of cloth from my poncho, and
Sure.
I begin wrapping a stick of dynamite around the glass bottle, the wine bottle, and also putting some of it inside to make a stopper.
Okay.
Oh, let's see how this crazy river rat likes this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm gonna chuck that over to the other side where I last saw Otto. Try and block this with one of your cronies, you crazy rat.
All right, bring the heat.
Dave, by any chance, do you just make a Molotov dynamite?
Yes.
A Molotov? Science said it couldn't be done.
Molotov dynamite with gasoline as opposed to alcohol.
Yeah, so that's success with consequences, but I would prefer not to do that. So I'm just gonna spend a marker.
All right. So I'm going to say the gasoline is going to count as a wallop. So while he's not able to bring one of his companions to stop a bullet, he does manage to grab somebody at the last moment and get a little bit of cover from the explosion. You definitely see, fur fly as the explosion, tears into him. He's got a number of grievous wounds as he's blown off his feet. The metal plates sewn into Greta's trench manages to block some of the damage as well, but she too is blasted off of her feet and thrown flying. All of the goons now at Otto's feet, absolutely gone, and they have been blasted in either direction away from each other.
Wait till those plates. Sorry.
Considerable damage. What was that?
Oh, wait till those plates start heating up, my amigos. We're gonna have pan-seared goose. And that stupid river rat is going to be picking shards of glass out of his ass for the next week if he makes it out here alive.
I'm kind of tempted to double down on the fire and throw a Molotov at him now. You know that? That was so spectacular. I just want to help out. May I do that?
What's anybody else is doing?
Chuck a Molotov at... all the cool kids are doing it. Like,
with as much area that's been covered and how much they have been scattered, you are not going to be able to get Greta and Otto in one blast. So you would have to choose who you're going after.
Well, as much as I wanted to say your goose is cooked, I think I can still hurt Otto, so I just want to hurt Otto. I think that's the optimal move.
All right.
I will do the things. Oh, yes! Baby, we got that 666 action. I have a -1 forward, so...
Well,
but
You're still 12 on dice.
Oh, that's right. Shit, my bad.
What's your precision?
Yeah, I use awareness for Molotov, so that's a +3.
Yeah. So that solidly lands into crit range.
Burn that dice. Let's burn that marker, baby.
What was that?
Burn that marker, baby. I am in the red, and I'm deep in the red, but you know what? This is worth.
So, he is severely battered and burned. You can't quite tell whether he's in his death throes or if he's just alive and twitching. But he looks severe after one explosion after another. No real chance to even consider the effects of the first one before the second goes off. Concrete and detritus from the first explosion gets sent into the air, a second concussive wave, sending shrapnel, not only up against the building, breaking glass in, the apartments that are around, pushing the trolley slightly away from, where he and Greta, lie on the concrete, but sending the shrapnel back into the street, causing a bit of rough terrain and definitely not a smooth ride for any vehicles that would be, coming down the street.
Sublime.
What about anybody else?
Can I get up to the top of the building and fight off the people throwing bombs?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna bop.
All right, so you burst open the roof door, and there's a burly emu who has got a stash of these explosives and homemade pipe bomb looking things, ready to go. She's got a pack of matches, and as the door slams open, she turns and looks at you, and you can almost hear the gulp as as you make your presence known.
Okay, I'm gonna tuck and roll.
All right.
Okay, that's 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 3, 12.
All right, that is not only a solid hit, but that is a crit.
Hey.
So you do 2 with your punch, right?
Normally, yeah.
All right, so that adds the extra damage from the crit, and you get a jaw shattering strike with this this punch, and she reels. She's hurt bad.
Can I use a marker to shove her off the side of the building?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
All right, so what I'm gonna say happens with this is you use the marker to wallop. So as opposed to a more of a roundhouse punch, you come in out of your roll and you come in with an uppercut, and as I said, her head reels back from the punch, but she's right there at the edge so that she could throw stuff. So you knock her senseless, and her body goes flying back over the edge.
Okay.
And when it solidly strikes the concrete down below, it hits with a solid thwack, and she paints the concrete with red.
That was not what I meant for it to be. Well, it sounded more magical than I thought it would. But yeah.
Sugar or Jonas?
I'm gonna aim at the goose.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to aim for her head or squishy or non-trench coat parts.
Sure.
Since they're laying down.
Sure.
We're gonna use a marker.
Gonna turn that into a success?
Yep.
Alright, so you solidly strike, and it kind of goes through the bottom part of her beak and out the front. She is definitely in bad shape, having not had a chance to really regain her footing after the stick of dynamite blew up in her face. How about you, Jonas?
Yeah, I'm gonna fire. Same target.
Who still at Otto?
Oh, is he still up?
Otto, you cannot tell from this distance whether he is in death throes or whether he is alive but barely.
Okay, cool. I shoot him. And I turn in a marker to hit because I didn't otherwise.
All right, so what does this shot look like?
Like something out of Cowboy Bebop. Like I line it up, I stand kind of sidelong, and like my hand sort of like goes up as the bullet fires, and I have no idea what it looks like on the other end. I'm too far away to see it. I just feel like a cool guy.
So were you looking for a headshot, a chest wound? What were you going for your kill shot?
Oh, probably the chest, because while the head is a more certain kill shot, it's also much harder to hit, and I'm pretty far away.
So he's lying, burned, battered, bruised, bleeding, you look around and you've had this guy dead to rights several times over, and every time this slippery little otter manages to get cover from one of his goons lying on the ground, no goons anywhere within proximity, doesn't even have cover. This is almost too easy of a shot for you. You line it up, you take that moment. Time seems to pause. You can still smell the poisonous gas that came from the bomb. You can smell the scent of sulfur from the explosions that have gone off recently. You can even smell the gas that Sugar pulled out to add fuel to the literal fire. You can hear the rapid fire of guns from some of the other crew. Even your own allies that seem to be bringing the firefight in the direction of Carlo Hambino's goons, or some of the goons that are fighting Al Capone. And it seems as if time slows down as you slowly just look down that sight and pull that trigger, and as soon as the bullet leaves your gun, you're like, all right, mission done. It's too far away to properly see or care, but there's no way. And sure enough, we follow that bullet as it goes across. You get that moment where other gunfire is happening around, but we watch as this bullet sails ever so slowly across the battlefield into this wounded, battered, destroyed otter, and he breathes his last.
Hell yeah.
Day 3. It started with smoke. Not the casual haze of Scarborough's street-side peanut roasters, or the fog that rolls in from the harbor. No, this is black, bitter smoke, spiraling above the skyline just before dawn. It rises from a nondescript warehouse tucked between the railway lines. Otto's stash house. The one no one was supposed to know about. By sunrise, it's ash. No one claims it. Everyone blames someone. Al Capone's spokebird struts through the press like a silk tie and a sneer. Bunny's been stirring the pot. We all know it. Bunny Malone fires back by sundown, quietly through pamphlets, whispers, and one very pointed letter left in a smashed typewriter. Carlos has always hated fire, but he sure knows how to light it. Carlo Hambino doesn't waste time with the press release. He pins it on your crew. They're unpredictable, dangerous. You'd think I'd trust amateurs with fire? And Otto doesn't say a word. He says Greta Ironbite. You hear her before you see her, spurred talons tapping on cobblestones, rasping breath from a broken beak that never healed quite right. Greta doesn't ask questions. She begins to make a stand in the streets. Doesn't matter whether it's civilians or gangsters. She brings the terror, and it starts the fight. firefight is dying down with a third of the goons, or a quarter of the goons, seemingly out of it. Al Capone's gang is not to be outdone, and Hambino, while driven back, is still in for a fight. What do you do?
I think that when the war first starts, right? Arthur is going to run to Jonas and his house to make sure they're okay.
Okay.
Because it's breaking out in their street, right?
Yeah, it's all over Scarborough, but it's it is from your apartment building. You can see Greta doing the violence, trying to accost people to gather information as to who was behind the fire, who burned the stash house.
Okay. So he's going to go check on Jonas, and then he's going to make phone calls to Sugar first, and then probably Rosa, and then Boomer. Because he'll want to know what's going on with everybody else before he arranges for a ride or anything.
Okay. So is anybody not reachable when the phone rings?
No, I'm probably trying on all my clothes. Eating bonbons on the couch blissfully.
Sugar. Turn on the radio.
What?
Turn on the radio.
Okay.
The news.
Right?
You turn on the radio and you spin the dial, and it's talking about panic in the streets. The radio announcer's voice is a little crazed, a little worried. You can definitely hear the stress and the occasional crack in the voice as they call to everyone to task. Stay inside, lock your doors. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. Anyone who opens their door, their life is going to be on the line. The streets are mad here in Scarborough, and Greta is just only the beginning of it.
I mean, this is what we expected, right?
It is.
Are we meeting at your place, or what's the plan?
I don't know if we can get to my place. Maybe if we meet in the middle. Where it's happening.
So, tea house then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he'll hang up with Sugar. I presume he found Jonas well and didn't need to say much because obviously Raphael's there. He'll just say, I need you for an errand.
What do you tell Raphael when he, looks out the window, sees the carnage, and says, "You can't go out there"?
You're muted.
I say my friends are out there, don't I have to?
Well, promise you'll do your best to be safe.
I'll come back. You
Trust you.
stay safe.
I'm not going anywhere.
Good. I'll try to be quick.
And then I'll call Rosa. Rosa, you know what's going on? You're muted.
Oh, it's just another day in Scarborough, but it looks like someone amped things up to maybe 11. It's all right.
Yeah, but there's going to be civilian deaths. Maybe we can mitigate those. And either way, I don't think you're going to do much harm with any kind of chaos going on right now.
Oh, are you unleashing me?
Let's say for this afternoon.
All right, I can definitely get behind that.
All right. You need a ride, or are you going to be able to get there?
I got these wings. I might as well just fly on over.
All right. See you there. And then he'll call Boomer.
I know I'm not muted, but all the cool kids were doing it, so I ain't want to feel left out.
Boomer, Jonas and I need a ride.
Got it. Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Yeah, we're
Or I
going
hear what's
towards
happening.
smoke.
All right, not a war, I guess.
Get ready.
Let's get it one. I take a shot and say, "Whew, get this over with."
Honestly, you're probably our best asset here because you're the one that's most familiar with this kind of turf.
Keep your head low. Don't make unnecessary movements.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. And I go pick up the folks. Yeah.
So you gather at the tea house, knowing how bad the streets are situated. What do you guys discuss?
Just keeping my head in the game. Wow.
I think we should try to get people out.
I agree.
I think the smart ones have already left. I mean, did you see it out there? It'd be crazy to stay. They should probably stay low, keep their heads down.
They may not be able to leave. I think the best thing we can do is what Sugar said. We need to get as many people out as possible. Because this is not going away. This is going to escalate before it gets better.
I mean, we kind of made a name for ourselves. They see us with the people. They start shooting at us. The people get shot.
That's
I
why
don't
we
know
don't
if it's
need
such
to
a
be
good
seen.
idea. Oh, we're probably going to be seen. Unless you've got a sneaky way of doing it.
Well, Sugar, what do you think?
I mean, if a couple of us are seen, like, doing a distraction or kind of keeping the heat over there, and then maybe a couple other of us, more gentle-looking folk, could run around some of these bigger apartments and just try to get people out the back way.
Yeah.
Where are you going to send them? And for how long? What if they don't want to leave?
I mean, that's fair. Some of them might not want to leave their homes because this is their home, but we got to at least offer them a way out. Where we take them, I don't know. I mean, we can only take a car full at a time, really.
I don't know. Boomer, can you get a bus? A bus would be more efficient.
War out there, buddy, man. Getting a bus might cause casualties all on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, contain, do what we can. Man, you know what? If we can get Otto, oh, that'll be so good. But he's so well guarded. There's no way we'll be able to kill him.
Boomer, what if you steal a trolley car? Fill the trolley car up. Get lots of people all at once.
Casualties, man. Good. Don't put all your eggs in one basket in this case, folk.
It seems to me like we've got a bit of a trolley problem.
Not yet. That's another day, I believe.
Well, these
But you mean
mobsters,
the trolley problem.
these mobster types tend to be religious, which means I think the church is off limits. So if we can maybe arrange for that big church on the other side of town to at least take people, maybe they can stay there and wait it out.
Oh yeah, I think the Padre should be cool with that for sure.
For certain.
Yeah, maybe I can run ahead and see if I can talk to him.
Yeah, maybe see if they have any like buses or anything they can help move people too.
Yeah.
We could bring them over here to this street because it's a couple streets over from where the noise is happening.
We're just gonna have to keep Mother Goose's attention over there.
Yeah. Rosa,
Maybe her
I think
favorite person.
Rosa, I think that might be a good thing for you.
We'll see what I can do.
And I'll see if I can draw some of her attention too, because I know I have her eye, I know that much. But I'll need some wheels to be able to move me pretty quick. Boomer, are you game?
Always in the game.
Alright. And then Jonas, I'm not sure where you want to fall in this. Do you want to try to help get people out, or do you want to cover Rosa?
Somebody should.
It looks like there's two teams, one for distracting the goose and one for, getting people out. Who's in what crew?
I think I'm in the exit crew.
Fraction.
Okay. All right. Given what we know going forward, Greta certainly survives whatever distraction plan that you guys do. So let's turn this into a simple a simple role for each crew. What is Rosa doing as a distraction? What is Jonas doing as a distraction?
So this is the plan that Rosa would like to lay out. Rosa will get Molotov cocktails from Boomer.
Mm-hmm.
Take them.
And Rosa is actually going to be flying over the area where Greta is. And as Greta's doing whatever Greta's doing, he's going to be dropping Molotov cocktails and dynamite, not to actually hit Greta, but to hurt her away from what's going on. And what Jonas would like, or what Rosa would like Jonas to do, is kind of be stationed and snipered up so that, like, if Greta goes to take pot shots at me, Jonas makes sure Greta keeps her head down.
So you're gonna set up that thing where you're like, but I have a sniper here too. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rosa, why don't you give me a sly, and Jonas give me a precision, and see how this shapes up.
Ooh.
I have a feeling, and plenty of markers. So I'm just gonna turn one in and not even roll this one.
Okay.
I have triples.
Are they all ones?
No, they're all
Good.
twos.
They're all dudes.
Which gives me a
That's twice
4.
as good.
Yeah, it's twice as good, which gives me a 4, but it's sly. So that gives me a 7. So I'm going to take one of my 2 remaining markers and give it to... who else has been spending markers? Sugar's been spending markers. I'm going to give it to Sugar.
Okay. So that gives you success with consequences. So while you manage to, lead her away, the way I'm playing this, across the board, all your successes, get a large percentage of the populace that are willing to go out. So your consequence is she has been herded into a direction where there is a smaller percentage of people that can get out. Easy peasy. All right, let's go on to extraction crew. What is your team looking to do?
First question I have is, did the church bus arrive yet?
Yeah, Sugar's successful. I imagine Arthur's probably taking a separate vehicle to take Sugar to the church.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna basically floor it as best as I can with my old man self. And
All right.
drive like my grandfather.
So I kind of feel, Sugar is going to be convincing the priest to allow people to be brought here. Boomer is going to be doing some driving, so I know what they're going to roll. What is Tumbleweed's plot and plan in all of this?
So he's kind of working on support right now, because if Greta sees him, he will become the focus. He knows this. He's trying not to be, but if push comes to shove and he gets some kind of signal that Jonas and or Rosa's in trouble, then as soon as he has Sugar safe in safety, he will do what he has to do distraction-wise. So he's kind of trying to be like the everyman right now.
All right, so to me, this sounds like either you're trying to stay hidden away from Greta, which would be Sly, or you're trying to stay out of trouble, which would be Moxie.
Yeah. I'm really trying to break it up is the thing for whoever needs it, is really what it is.
Okay, well, you have to make that choice before they roll. So, who are you going to try and break it up for?
Sugar.
Okay.
Because I think it's most important we have a place for people to go.
Sure. All right. So go ahead and give me a start, spit, and roll.
Okay.
And if you are successful, that will give Sugar a +1 to their roll.
So I got doubles.
Okay.
And the neutral boss is showing.
All right. Doubles with the neutral boss. What is your total?
You said I'm start spinning?
Yes.
So that's 8.
All right. So that is success with consequence.
Does it matter my doubles are ones?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that is just success with consequence. There's nothing extra for it being the neutral boss. So I think your consequence here is as you and we'll see how Sugar's roll plays out. So you get the +1 to your start, spit, and roll. So Sugar, so why don't you roll, and if there are consequences, it falls to the Tumbleweed instead of to Sugar.
I have a 12.
You have a 12, so it doesn't matter.
Well, with the +1.
Yeah.
So 13?
No, it's 11, and then I added the +1.
Right. So you've got easily without a problem, oh my child, the church in these hard times gladly will open its doors to its people so that they might find, shelter and solace from the chaos and storm that has been brought upon them. All right, so let's see how well Boomer is able to navigate the issues and deal with things. So give me a awareness roll. Put your peepers to work.
Indeed will. Alright, so far good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Am I still affected by the -1?
No, this is technically happening before the -1.
Okay. Then
that's okay. I'm doing timey-wimey bullshit tonight, so
I will crit, baby.
All right, so no problems. So most of the people that wanted to get out and get to safety are now, over the course of this day, evacuated to the church. Greta and her goons are pushed in a direction to maximize the amount of people. There was a small section of neighborhood that the geese bunkered down in and would not be persuaded, but you at least got a lot of people in safety. As we shift and change back to present day, where Otto is broken, bleeding, gone, expired. Well, call it what you will. Greta on death's door lies, a scant distance away Al Capone's dwindling forces, look around, decide, is this fight worth it? Well, Hambino, his troops dig in, being emboldened by, Otto's defeat. His fire turns in your direction. Explosions, weapons fire of all kind. Everybody takes 3 damage.
Ooh, that hurt. He's talking big for someone that didn't even kill Otto himself. I'll say that right now. Like, yo. I mean, good on him for being brave and stuff, but dang, man, come on.
What do you guys do?
So
Go ahead.
I don't expect Hambino to be the sort to go into battle with his troops like Otto is. But I know you mentioned that Hambino has a lot of foot traffic here. So can I use my vantage point and these new tear gas bombs that I have to try to target his crew?
Absolutely.
Alright. And that will hopefully give them -1s when they try to attack my friends and me.
Alright, bring the heat. Roll precision.
Oh, I'm not good at this.
That's why we got markers. That's why we got markers, baby.
And I got doubles, and it is 7 plus 1 is 8. I don't think I want a consequence here. I'll burn a marker.
Okay. So you fairly unfamiliar with these devices, but as you came through the door, you saw that the emu that was here had a pack of matches and has a stick of devices that they look like they go hand in hand. So you light a match, strike the fuse, and you toss it. And at first, it hits the building. You threw it too hard. You're quite a burly armadillo, and you expect after it hits the building above that it's going to careen and go completely off target. But you threw it with enough force that it hits the building next to it and careens back into pretty much right where you were looking to go. It detonates at almost the perfect time. Shrapnel flies, the gas begins to settle down. Some of the goons begin coughing and splurting. Some of them are definitely coated in some wounds. Good play.
Question.
Yeah.
By any chance, is that car that I drove in there is still in there, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's burning and engine's on fire.
But it hasn't exploded yet, has it?
It is not.
All right, well, let's hope
More
that.
gasoline?
Let's help that out. Molotov, go! I choose you, Molotov.
You flipped it, right? Like it's on its side or roof?
The other car is on its side. His car is not.
Oh, okay.
So I would say Molotov cocktails are not gonna easily penetrate the steel of the outside to get to a spot that's gonna cause it to easily explode.
I agree.
I think in order to get the explosion you're looking for, you're either gonna need to crit or you gotta shoot the what I'm looking for, the fuel tank.
Sure thing. Even if it's like a time thing where I'm just making it hotter, I'm fine with that as well.
That definitely works.
Yeah. So
right.
I mean, if I crit, poggers, but
right.
All
right, bring the heat.
I'm bringing it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 -1. Right, -1.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. All right, that is a crit. The the explosion happens to be just enough, hitting the where the metal is beginning to slag on the hood of this sedan, and the explosion rips some of the engine and gets to the fuel line, and this thing goes up in a wall of fire. The car actually flips and goes completely upside down. Fuel line now causing a blaze, and metal and upholstery and tires are now on fire and have caused a little bit of a wave, or a distraction, as the heat kind of blocks some of the line of fire between you guys and them.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'm satisfied.
Anybody else?
All right, so we've got Hambino's thugs are kind of like the major threat right now.
The Otto's troops have been, anyone that was on the scene is literally dead or dying, and Al Capone's troops have, decided to evacuate.
Okay, so I just want to have more cast to the battlefield, and the car that is overturned, I want to take a shot at the gas tank.
Okay.
Pull out my trusty revolver. Roll some dice. Ooh, that's not great. That's doubles. That's 4. With my +1, that's a 5. I'll take an XP.
Okay, you get an XP as your shot careens off the undercarriage. You watch as it cling cling. But alas, no additional explosion. Anyone else?
Because this looks like it's wrapping up and they're all on fire, I'm going to jump in a window of a nearby building.
Okay.
And call the cops. And I'm going to tell them that I am a local, that I'm watching out the window, and it looks like someone just took out Machine Gun Otto, and the what would this be called? All the craziness seems to be coming to an end, and they need to send EMS here right now.
So the officer on the line says, "I'm very, very sorry that you are going through this. What is happening out there is more than law enforcement can handle at this point in time. We advise all civilians to stand down, stay safe, and as soon as things quiet down, enforcement and EMS will be on scene to offer what aid they may." I wish there was a better answer.
Can I try to convince him that it's done?
You can try. But I mean, you've got, sounds of firefight, outside.
Like, I want to say it's wrapping up, or seems like there's only one guy left, or something like that.
Well, you had said it's wrapping up,
yeah.
So then try to say, "Oh, it's now done," when there are explosions and fire and gunshots. That's kind of hard to mask.
Okay, so they're waiting, kind of.
Yes, it's no bullshit. They're like, we can't handle what has been brought to bear. And animal pun intended.
I was about to say Otto, Owl, Boar.
Okay. Can I hop back through and just scream that the fuzz is going to be here as soon as gunshots stop?
Okay. Anybody else wanna make an action?
No, I think I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, actually.
I guess, can we all get out, like, before the fuzz gets there?
That.
Well, don't we still have some guys up?
Well, that's the thing. We don't want to be involved in the mess when they get here.
Right.
We want to be as far away and unimplicated as possible.
It didn't really sound like they're in a hurry to get there, though.
Like, as far as anyone is concerned, the only people that know we're involved at all is the church, and what we did was evacuate people when an emergency broke out. We're the heroes as of right now, as far as anyone knows. And anyone who knows different is dead.
Does Bunny seem like she's leaving yet or no?
No. This is literally the fight for Scarborough.
Yeah.
Whoever remains gets to claim this territory.
Oh, so we're here on Bunny's behalf now.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So we gotta take out Hambino's guys too then. How many of them are there?
It doesn't look like much, and like between the explosions, between the wall of fire, burning vehicle, it is definitely a tense situation.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna just empty this bag that I have here of like these tear gas bombs, or whatever. I'm just gonna empty them on them.
Okay.
Nice.
Like, suffocate them if I can, basically. And I have enough markers without being out. I'm just gonna burn one to not roll and just succeed at taking the bag and dump after
Nice.
they're lit.
Well, you can roll to see
All
if you get a crit.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. I will do that much. No crit. No. Actually, that would have been an awful roll. So I'm really glad I just spent a marker. I don't need the XP.
All right. So what'd you get?
A success. I burned a marker. Otherwise,
Oh,
I would
okay.
have had a 4.
All right. So
Actually, that's -1. It would have been a 3. I lied.
so the explosion rings out. The smoke clears, and it's hard to tell what was there. The smoke clings low to the streets of Scarborough, thick with the scent of gunpowder, scorched fur, and shattered peanut shells. Sirens long silenced, lights busted, and the echo of 1,000 bullets still rattling down the alleyways like rolling dice. On the north block, Machine Gun Otto lies slumped against the side of a blasted-out truck, his beloved Tommy gun silent at last. The great Otter warlord didn't die easy. His crew fought like cornered animals, but even the wildest current can be dammed when enough bodies are piled in the river. To the west, Al Capone's retreat wasn't a defeat. It was a disappearing act. One moment his gentle birds were in formation, rifles glinting from every rooftop. The next, gone. Rooftops empty, ledgers burning in the steel waste bins. Al was never one to die for turf, only to vanish whispering revenge for another day. On the eastern lane, Carlos Hambino's boars made a last stand around a circle of armored cars. They didn't die. They didn't count on the fire traps hidden beneath, or the explosions that you guys brought. One after another, the bombs went up in bursts of yellow flame. The earth trembled, the boar scattered, tusks charred, and morale broken. Carlo Hambino himself not on the scene, but his men limped away, howling curses behind them. And in the center of it all, Bunny Malone, standing tall in the trench coat spattered with soot, her ears pinned back by a breeze of the rising inferno. Her crew surrounds, her loyal few who stuck through every dirty job and blood-soaked peanut rum. She didn't say a word. She just lights a cigarette, takes one long drag, and nods. Scarborough is mine. It's not a crown made of gold, but an alley of dust and broken promises. And the city, it's watching, waiting, ready to be reshaped by those bold enough or mad enough to try. You manage to get out of the scene. You manage to get rewarded by, fully fledged lieutenants with Bunny Malone. And eventually, when you've managed to calm your nerves, do all the celebrations, you find yourselves yet again at Benny's. It's taken weeks worth of persuading to get him to tell you the story. What is the gravy boat incident that he talks about all the time? So one night after closing, he says, all right, you've been in my restaurant many times, bought many meals. This time, I'll buy you a meal and I'll tell you the story. It's not much, but it's a story that I've always looked back on as something that shaped my life. It happened one rainy night about 10 years ago in Scarborough. I was working as a mid-level runner for the Snortelli Syndicate. This is before the mafiosos we have now. I delivered messages and food to backroom meetings. Nothing fancy, nothing prestigious. One day, I was assigned to serve Sunday dinner at a sit-down between two friends, Al Capone and Carlo Gambino. They were looking to hash out some territory lines in the produce racket. Dinner was tense. They were both eager, ambitious. But it all went to hell when somebody moved, bumped my arm, and I accidentally spilled a scalding hot boat of mushroom gravy directly onto Al Capone's prized jacket. And from that day, everything went sideways.
As I just sip my tea.
Gravy boat incident.
You learned about the gravy boat incident. You are all, fully in Bunny Malone's racket. Does anybody have any outing narrations as we take our final bows and leave Furton City?
Yeah. All I know is Boomer on the side would actually like to open up a veteran center, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Just to persuade those who come back more, don't join the life of crime. Just get y'all on your feet with something respectable.
Okay. Anybody else?
Arthur has taken up a job with Bunny Malone's crew. He's kind of retiring from the streets, as it were, but instead he's now training the goons. So just like he did right at the start, where he was trying to teach the cats how to shake somebody down properly, he's taken to teaching people how to he's teaching how to rough people up and stuff. But it's kind of he's also teaching them how to he's trying to instill some basic honor among thieves, if you will, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Sort of like that old guard, old ways, this is how you treat people kind of thing. This is reserved for these people. You don't shake down people that have less than you. You shake down the wealthy, that kind of stuff. And if Robin allows it, I think maybe Arthur starts having every Sunday lunch with Raphael and Jonas, just because he wants to have a semblance of a family somewhere, and this is kind of where he finds it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I dig that.
Rosa's abuela does not make it. She dies from the infections,
Oh.
from the burns. So he buries her with the toaster a week later, and he blames himself, not for the fire, but for not being ruthless enough soon enough and letting it go that far, and becomes Bunny Malone's psychotic attack dog.
And then I would like to run one of Bunny Malone's speakeasies, the one that the bartender friend's at.
Okay.
I was just gonna say I never do another job with Rosa.
Fair. That's fair. Actually, I think Rosa works alone now.
I think nobody else would work with you after everything. You blow things up, mate.
He blows things up, is what he does.
It's what he does.
Anybody else? All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this different take on a Zoo Mafia game. I hope all of you enjoyed playing, and those of you who have come with us on our journey through Furton City have enjoyed this fine journey.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry, Ted.
again-
One last thing.
Absolutely.
Whenever Rosa does something for Bunny Malone now, he leaves behind one of those toasters
Okay.
as his calling card.
His calling card is a toaster.
That's an expensive
That's
calling
hilarious.
card.
So as always, don't forget to check the links in the description below, where you can find these wonderful people, where you can find the Zoo Mafia Kickstarter that will happen someday, and you can always come over to nerdarchy.com and check out the new Zoo Mafia content that I put up on the website every Saturday, as well as other fantastic articles that are about D&D and other things. So this is your Zookeeper out. Thanks for coming along, and until next time, stay
Stay
nerdy.
nerdy.